That's right.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about your book, it is producing theater and film. See if we can talk about that for a little bit. What is significant about producing theater and film?
Well, first of all, the name came from a mistake at the Amsterdam News. We were doing a play called Deadwood Dick, Legend of the West. It was originally called Or Them Niggas Went That Away, but people kept calling on the phone. It was a hit play. People kept calling on the phone, and they'd call and they say, "Is this where them niggas are playing at?" So we got tired of people calling there saying, "Is this where they playing at?" And so we said, we better change the name of this play. So we changed it to They Went That Away. But in the newspaper, when they did an article, they were giving praise to the production. And they said, the play was produced by Carl Clay. And so, it was a misspelling. So I
Mm.
thought about it. I said, well, that is true. We didn't have no money to really do this. So when it was time to do the book, I remembered that and said, I think it's an apt title because oftentimes for Black art and art around, our communities, we do it with less than the resources of our counterparts and less than the resources necessary to really do the jobs that we really want to do. So we have to work with what we have.
Mm.
And so producing theater is, how the theater was started and how it evolved over time. As I said before, we started with a production called Black Love, and that evolved into us, after all of the rehearsals, it evolved into us getting a space on Linden Boulevard in a storefront that we turned into a 100-seat theater. It evolved in just doing adult productions into doing children and youth productions and
Mm.
making films.
Now,
And
what is
so
what's the capacity now? What is the
the
theater like now? It is moved well beyond the storefront. And
Yes. So in 1986, after working with many community entities, the planning board and local electeds and the churches and so forth, we were able to get a HUD grant that allowed us to move into what is now known as Roy Wilkins Park. And so we went from a 100-seat theater into a 400-seat theater.